The ESV is probably one of the more popular ones, but English Standard Version, the CSB, NIV, NKJV, you're going to have probably all of those throughout your classes and chapel. And over time, as you're here, you'll kind of learn what ones your professors tends towards. But we don't set like a specific version.
Okay, great. So I guess the next thing to talk about again is student life. As we were talking about before, our student life is fully engaged with not just with fun things to do on campus and making it a really exciting place to come and learn, but also really intentional about building those relationships in a way that gives glory to God and is a big part of the spiritual growth of our students in a everyday situation. So I know you touched about it in your own life and experience here, but can you talk about a little bit more about student life and maybe residence and what students could expect?
Yeah, so as part of our residence program, we have resident advisors who are hired by Heritage to oversee the apartments. Questions about community life, if you kind of need mentorship and guidance, they're available to assist you, pray with you, give you advice. And something else that the RAs lead is called impact groups. So anyone who lives on campus is part of an impact group, which meets on Monday nights. And that's just a time that's set aside where everyone kind of stops homework and whatever else they need to do and join as a community in their groups, kind of like a small group setting, and they'll either do a Bible study together or pray together, have times of fellowship. But the idea is that it allows students to build friendships and grow together as a community and work on that apart from academics and everything else that kind of runs throughout the week. It's just set aside to focus a little bit on developing relationships with each other.
Mm-hmm. Just a quick side note, just to our technician here, we're having some audio situation where we're on it. So those of us who let us know, thank you very much for that. We're on it and trying to find a solution. But we did have a really good question about your first week at Heritage. Expect coming here for the first week.
Yeah, so if you're coming here this fall or thinking about coming here this fall, students move into residence on September 2nd. And we have a whole welcome day planned out. So whether you live on campus or not, you're all invited to join us on that day. We do a big family barbecue, so your families are welcome to come. We have a dedication service. We have a parent orientation to kind of guide our orientation days. And during that time, there will be some kind of academic preparation for new students. We have an English placement exam that anyone in a degree will need to take. And then there's like a community life meeting where you learn kind of about what's expected to be part of the community at Heritage throughout the year. And then after all that, during the evening, the student council plans a bunch of fun events that you can kind of get to know each other, get to play some games together. So it's kind of there's a lot of fun stuff that happens those first couple of days as you settle into life at Heritage. And then on September 5th, classes begin. So September 5th and 6th, if you have classes on Thursday or Friday, you'll start right into class. And then on Friday to Saturday, we actually have what we call an all-student retreat, and it takes place right here on campus. And they have a speaker who comes, and they have a bunch of stuff planned just to kind of prepare you spiritually for the year ahead. And campus, you're welcome to be part of that. So that's kind of what the first week looks like. And then the following week, you jump right back into full-time classes. So Monday to Friday, you would have classes consistently.
Yeah, and it's important to highlight too, especially like you said, off campus and on campus. Like the whole goal here is to be a whole community that you're learning together no matter where you live. So that's an exciting part about student life here too, is that it's all interconnected that way, and the community grows together, right? And it's a mutual opportunity. We had a question here about, is there a similar experience in January for those starting in the winter semester?
Yeah, so starting in January is definitely possible. We have several students who come in partway through the year, and it's a bit of a different experience because we don't have a full-out orientation week, but we do provide an academic preparation session for them. So if you come in January, we will invite you to a time where you'll meet with our academic dean and our general counselor, and they'll prepare you for academics at Heritage. And our student council usually runs kind of a welcome back week. So there will be events that allow you to connect with the students. So yeah, it's a little bit smaller scale, but there is that introduction there for those joining our student life and community at that time.
Right. So there's an opportunity for them to connect and to meet new friends, and because it's a big transition time. So we want to make sure that that's working for everybody else as well. We had a question also come up about book list. When does the book list come out? And just the timeline, I guess, for that one.
Yeah, so the current book list is always posted on MyHeritage. So if you've already been accepted to Heritage, then you have access to your MyHeritage account. And if you go to the dashboard, on there, the dashboard tab, there's a list of different announcements that come up, and you'll find the current book list there. So it's already posted for September, and if there's an update, it'll be updated there too. And if you're looking for the bookstore hours, there's also a PDF there of the bookstore hours, which the bookstore is open just during the month of September. But you can go into your MyHeritage account and already order the books for your classes so that they're here and ready for you when you get to Heritage.
All right. Sounds good. So now that we're kind of already getting into now that you've applied, let's go into maybe how to apply. Sure. So if you're listening in, things like that, I guess, what are the credentials? What are we looking for as admission requirements here at Heritage?
Yeah. So I'll walk you quickly through the application process. Some of you listening may have already been through this, so we'll go through it pretty quick. The application is completely online. So if you go to our website, discoverheritage.ca/apply, you'll be able to select the appropriate application right there. And everything is done online. You'll request 3 people to be references for you. So one will be a pastoral reference, someone at your church who knows you well and can talk about your spiritual journey. And then you'll also request 2 other friends. May or may not be a pastor. It doesn't need to be a ministry leader. It could just be a friend. And they'll also be asked the same questions just about you and your spiritual journey. And so once you do that, it's on your application where you can just upload like a photo of your transcript, which really speeds up the application process, especially this time of year. If you're applying, that really helps instead of us waiting for transcripts to arrive in the mail. So you can just drag and drop them on there. If you are applying to Heritage, you still will need to get your official transcripts, but they can follow later. As long as we have them before you begin studies here, that is perfect. And you'll need to request that official physical copies are sent directly from your school to Heritage. So that's really important, but we can take all the photos in advance. Admitted to a college program. There's kind of 2 levels. So I'm going to talk about certificate requirements first. So if you're applying to a 1-year certificate, the academic requirements is that you need to have 6 grade 12 academic courses. So that would mean that they need to be at a 4U or a 4M or 4C level. So you need to have 6 of those to be admitted to a certificate, and one of those should be English. If you're applying to a degree program, the requirements are a little bit higher. So you need to have 4 grade 12 university levels. So that would be 4 4U courses. And then you need 2 additional ones that are either M or U level. So you could have 2 for U or another 2 for M. So 6 academic again, but we don't accept C's for that. Student, which is 21 years of age or older, and you don't have a high school transcript, or you're a homeschooled student, then what we have you do is come right here to Heritage and you write what's called the Canadian Adult Achievement Test. So this test just covers your English skills, so it does reading comprehension, reading vocabulary, English, and spelling, and you can gain academic admission to Heritage through that. And if you are transferring from another institution to Heritage, the process is pretty easy. It just means you have to send us your high school transcript and transcripts from any other post-secondary institution you've attended. And we can do a transfer credit assessment for you if you're going into a degree program. So you might get some credits transferred in to Heritage. Yeah, that's basically most of the application process. I know it's a lot of kind of like details, but if you need more information or need that written out for you, I can send you or redirect you to the website. It kind of spells all those things out. Once you're accepted to Heritage, then we would send you information to register for courses. And once you've registered for your courses, you'll be invoiced, and you can request things like proof of enrollment forms and things like that for your banking.
Yeah. And I think the important thing, too, is that we're always available to reach out to and talk to. So if you want to email us with any other questions, even after today, if we touched on something, you're like, I don't know if that really is something that makes sense yet to me, that's okay. That's cool. It's a whole process. Feel free to reach out. You can email us at admissions@heritagecs.edu. That's admissions@heritagecs.edu. It's a great way to allow us to help you. And if you have any specific questions about or your own, like even how to get the transcript again, don't be afraid to reach out to us. We'll be happy to connect with you and talk you through the whole process. I think that's important, right? We want to just be around there and help as much as we can.
Something else I want to just add to what I said there. So I gave all those academic requirements, but I also want to let you know if you don't have those courses and you really want to come to Heritage, still reach out to us because we're available to help you navigate that process. If there's academic upgrading you need to do, we can help direct you with what courses to take so that you can come here. And then the other thing I just wanted to mention is if you want to do a degree and you don't have those academics, we can start you at a certificate level and do what's called a track to degree program that brings you up to the degree level so that in your second year you can hopefully enter the bachelor's program without losing any time. You've kind of completed your first year of your bachelor's by then and could just continue on with the rest of the program.
Right. So there's a lot of options. And so don't hesitate to reaching out to us. We'd be happy to help out any way we can to help you navigate the whole application process. And hopefully this video is helping, I guess, maybe even spark questions or hoping with clarification too. And it'd be great. Just like to take this time to remind that there is still time to apply for the fall of 2019. There is still room. So if you want to apply, you can go to discoverheritage.ca/apply and you can start your application there. And again, if you have questions about any of the things we talked about or references, don't hesitate to reach out to us as well. And there's even some perks even right now to apply. Do you want to talk about some of them? Or
Sure. So a few things we have going on right now is if you apply between now and July 31st, we have half price a lot of last minute work. So there's still time, but if you're thinking or on the fence, just start today and we'll help you try to get everything in by July 31st. The other thing I want to mention is for any new college students for fall 2019, we are excited to have a $500 tuition bursary that we're offering to those students. So in order to qualify that, the only thing is you have to be a full-time student, which is 3 full courses or more. So if you're wanting to take advantage of that, it's another good reason to apply. And then we have a couple exciting things coming up. We also have a preview day coming up where you can check out the school in person if you're interested in seeing it all for yourself and you want to talk with staff and faculty and kind of just get a sense for what Heritage is all about and hear the heart of the school. I encourage you to come to campus because that's really the best way to get to know what we're all. I'm sure experience the warmth of this community. So that's available. Contact us and let us know you want to visit, and we'd be happy to give you a personal tour anytime Monday to Friday. You can stop in and we'd be happy to show you around and introduce you to people, answer your questions. It's just a great way to see what we're all about.
Yeah, and so people can register for those on discoverheritage.ca, right?
Yeah. On August 16th or for a personal tour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Emily said, it's a great opportunity to see the campus for yourself and get to picture yourself here. And it's a unique opportunity, too, to ask us questions, too. We can find some pretty direct answers when you're on campus, and we can help you out as much as we can with the whole process. We do have actually a very practical question about parking.
You come to campus. So the first time you're here, you can just let them know your license plate and get a parking pass. That just identifies you as a student at Heritage. So if we ever have a reason you need to move your vehicle or something, but we have lots of parking and it's free.
Yeah, no, it's a good practical question for sure. And then again, we encourage you to come on campus, book a tour. We're happy to give you a tour anytime between Monday and Friday. So the next thing I got on our list is scholarships and bursaries. Again, when we're talking about post-secondary education, the question, it will always come up, how do I pay for it? And rightly so. We have an amazing opportunity here. We do have a lot of great scholarship and bursary opportunities here at Heritage. And wondering, Emily, if you wanted to chime in and let us know about a little bit more of those.
Yeah, so we do offer a lot of scholarships and bursaries. In 2018 alone, we gave out over $300,000 in scholarships and bursaries. And that's a lot for a school our size. So we're pretty excited about that we can offer that to our students. And that's usually because of generous donors who believe in the value of biblical education and want to help make it affordable to our students. So I always encourage students to apply for as many scholarships and bursaries as you think you may be eligible for. They're all on our website at discoverheritage.ca/tuition. If you go there, you can see the specific ones that are available to college students, and those are available to seminary students. A couple that I just want to highlight because everyone can apply to these ones, no matter who you are. So I'm just going to pick out those ones for a moment. The church matching scholarship is one that any student can do. All that you need to do is ask your church if they will sponsor you up to $500. So if your church sends a check for you for $500, then Heritage will match that amount in the following semester. And if your church is a partner church with Heritage, then Heritage will match up to $700. So that can work out to about $1,000 to $1,400 every year. You can do that one every year if your church is willing to support you in that way. So that's a great way that we help students. The other one that I want to mention is the William Marshall Leadership Award. That scholarship is available both in our college and seminary as well, and any student can apply for that and just discuss the ways that they are being a leader in their church or community or maybe at school. So those are two that are available to everyone. And then we have lots of other opportunities that are a little more specific, depending on maybe what you're studying or what your goals are after Heritage. But there's lots of different, even things like relocation bursary if you're making a big move to come to Heritage. We also have one for students who work at NBC. We have a partnership with them. So students who work there in the summer can get a discount on their tuition each year that they work at NBC. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that we are an OSAP approved institution. So you can begin an OSAP application to see what grants and loans they can assist you with. And we're approved for other things as well, like WSIB and First Nations and things like that. So there's lots of options available. And if you need assistance with like what are those or what can I qualify?
Absolutely. That sounds good. We do have, maybe you can suggest people
Sure.
bring to residence.
Sure. So you receive the information about residence in the middle of August. So you'll receive that from Dane and Katie Allen, our residence directors, along with a list of your roommates and their content and what's not provided. So in residence, you are set up in apartment style. So you'll have about 4 to 5 people that share an apartment. There's 3 bedrooms, so usually a student leader will have their own room, and then the other students, other things like if you want a coffee table, couches, those types of things, then you'll need to bring them yourself. So those types of things you'll want to work out with your roommates, because if all 5 of you bring a couch, it'll be quite crowded, so I don't recommend that. But if 1 or 2 of you are able to bring some furniture, that can work really well. The other thing you'll want to consider bringing is some countertop appliances. So we have decent-sized kitchens in our residence, which allow you to cook on the weekends when our cafeteria isn't operating. It operates Monday to Friday, and then you need to provide your own meals on Saturday and Sunday. So you might want to consider bringing like a microwave or a toaster or a kettle, kind of depending on what you and your apartment mates want to use.
It's important to bring up those apartment mates. That is good. You want a big part of student life as well. A question I was thinking too, and we brought it up a couple of times, is student council, and that brings up even to mind different things with athletics and everything like that. So other elements of student life, could you talk about that a little bit more? What are some things that the student council does, and even in terms of athletics, what opportunities are there here for students that want to be active or join a team or become a part of the community that way?
Sure. Yeah, so we do have a student council that runs lots of events and activities on our campus. One thing they do is run a few emphasis weeks throughout the year. So they provide a local outreach week where they do a bunch of stuff kind of focused in the community for that one particular week. That does happen throughout the year as well, but they kind of dedicate a week where they really focus on that. So you can get involved with that and then the different ways they go and serve the community during the year. We also have a missions conference, which is usually a big highlight around it. So we have speakers and a ton of missionaries come to campus and share their experiences with us. So that's a really exciting week. And then we also have an arts week. So during that week, we have a lot of different artistic events that you can participate in or listen to. So those are our emphasis weeks. And then as far as athletics, we have someone on our student council who coordinates intramurals on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. So the sports will change a little bit every week, depending on what the students really enjoy and are into that year. So things like soccer and basketball, volleyball, floor hockey, ultimate frisbee, those are some of the popular ones. And then if you are serious about ice hockey, we have a hockey team that you can be part of. So they have a team that plays in a church league, so you can join that if you're interested. And then we also have some ice time at a local arena, so you can play pickup hockey or just do ice skating during the week as well. Other than that, There's also a lot of music opportunities on campus. So we have a school choir that you can be part of that does like a real large-scale Christmas concert every year in the area with a big orchestra. So that's great to be part of. And then during the winter into the spring, they tour around Southern Ontario going to a few local churches. So that's a lot of fun. If you sing and want to be part of a musical community, it's a great way to get involved. Anyone can join that. Of our chapel teams that sing and play on Tuesdays or Thursdays. And then we also have a rep team for the school known as our 180 Worship Band. And you can audition to be part of that as well. And they tour Southern Ontario and go up to Ottawa for a spring tour.
Yeah. Let me add as well that I'm also very excited to get my first cup of coffee at the Bean.
Mm-hmm.
A really neat opportunity for students, a great spot for students to hang out, enjoy a great cup of coffee or a latte or a nice specialty coffee with their friends, study together, or just hang out. We have an amazing student center here that, again, is fueled by that same thing, right? Is that building of that community and having a blast together. So, if you come, I would like to even get you a coffee and we'll we'll hang out and go from there. But again, that's we not only have so much to get involved with and engage with, but also just places to hang out and to like continue to build that community and those friendships while you're here. So that's a really important thing. Is there any other topics maybe that we haven't touched on that?
We've covered a lot.
I think so too.
I could also just point out a little bit about our bachelor's degree programs. So within those, we have a Bachelor of Religious Education and a Bachelor of Theology degree. But within both of those, you can choose a specific focus. Like you can do a minor in intercultural studies or social and family studies, youth ministry, children's ministry, music, those types of things. So within a 3 or 4 year degree, some of them are 3, some of them are 4, you can kind of choose a focus that goes along with your interests or what you feel God has gifted you with. So those are great ways to introduce training in those areas as well.
Fantastic. Well, I think that's about it for us. Again, if you have any questions at all or anything from this that you're like, hey, I want to know more about this, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can email us at admin.edu. Again, we'll be happy to help either answer your question or direct you to the right person who can answer your question. We want to be there to help you out as much as possible. Again, you can always visit discoverheritage.ca for more information on our programs, on different things different things about the campus itself, as well as student life as well too. So I do see some people as well that are interested within some different things in terms of seminary. There might be some people at seminary as well. We're going to be doing these live videos probably throughout the school year. We're really encouraged to see people joining us and us more often. So stay tuned for more opportunities that we can do this throughout the campus and answer more questions specifically. Hopefully we can get Brad on and we can answer some questions about Heritage Theological Seminary as well. But again, we do have information on that all on discoverheritage.ca too if you are interested in finding out more about those opportunities. We do have somebody that is enjoying your haircut, by the way, here on Facebook Live. Give that a like.
Do they like yours?
Well, I don't know. I'm a little worried about the glare, to be honest, but it's fine. It's okay. But thank you again for tuning in. If you have, again, any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you again soon, and hopefully see you heading to Heritage this fall. Thanks again.